little bit better this time, John?
That was a little bit better.
Okay. I'll work on my A's from now on.
It's okay.
You know?
It's not usually a problem when it's just the mixer, but now that you're your own independent channel.
Ooh, I'm all independent and shit.
Look at
like
you,
that.
separating yourself from the pack. Being that alpha male.
Yo, that was the most funniest shit I heard when your dad called me an alpha male. I was like, yo. That is the opposite of what I always feel.
You're a lone wolf, Sydney.
Oh, man. Not that I'm beta, I just think I'm gamma. Like, I think I'm, like, somewhere in between.
So you're below beta.
You're
putting yourself that far down?
Oh, fuck it, yeah.
You're fucking Omega. That's
Omega?
I know my Greek alphabet. I studied Greek.
Alpha and Omega, beginning and end?
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
Nice. So, how was your weekend, dog? What were you up to? Because we only hung out on Friday, right?
Yeah, we only hung out on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
My weekend after that, I spent a lot of time at Aaron's place.
Ah.
So, we were recording some tracks. He was like, hey, bring your pedal board, bring your guitar, bring your cabs, everything. Give it all. We're going to record guitars. I'm like, cool. So we ended up tracking guitars for, I don't know, just for a couple of hours. Just DI through the pedal board.
Right.
And then he said he's going to do some reamping and some mixing. And he's going to, splice my takes.
Splice your takes?
Well, the thing is, he just wants it to be that much tighter. So he is kind of doing this weird,
he wants, like, virgin tight.
Yeah. Like, basically.
Oh.
Yeah, that tight. Barely a pinky.
Barely a pinky. Well, I went to a house party on Saturday. It was at this what are those neighborhoods called where they have like a airstrip where you can like fly a plane? Are they a specific type of neighborhood? Right?
What do you mean, like
those neighborhoods where they have like an actual airstrip where you can like have a plane?
Oh.
Yeah. I went to one of those houses, and this shit, yo, dog. This shit was so fucking nice. I'm not gonna lie. A little bit dirty, but it was a nice big ass house, the pool and everything. And I was there till 4 a.m. I think, just chilling, hanging out and stuff.
God damn, look at you.
Yeah, man.
Getting up past
Yeah.
In spite of your passing your prime, you're just like, I'm gonna stay up till 4 a.m.
Yeah, dog. I'm just maxing out, man. I'm pushing to the limit, man. Like, it was a fun time.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And then what'd you do on Sunday?
Sunday, I was just a piece of shit. Like, I'm always a piece of shit on Sundays. I kind of just, like, lay out. Like
it's a recovery day.
Yeah, recovery day. It's like a house cat, I just all day long because, my body definitely has limits. But what'd you do on Sunday?
I did pretty much the same thing. Not gonna lie. See, when I was at your party on Friday...
Yeah, it was a fun party.
Apparently, I learned something new.
What?
I learned that after a sore throat, you can develop an ear infection.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's awful. I don't wish that upon anyone. It also messes with your hearing temporarily.
Yeah.
So I can't mix for shit.
Wow.
Because of it.
Wow.
Yeah. But, it's also pretty much gone away. At least the pain's away.
Oh, well, I'm glad you recovered, dog. Yeah, that's good to hear.
I've escaped the deaths of my demons and my souls. The pain's gone.
Pretty uneventful weekend. I mean, I would go into details about this party, but, there might be a whole...
I'm actually excited about what's coming up this Tuesday. Apparently at Buddha, there's going to be a Space Force launch.
A Space Force launch? What?
Yeah, I don't know if anybody else is really... Like, basically, it's just a promotional thing that Buddha's doing. But I think it's brilliant because it just ropes in everything with current events. It's just like... The promo picture is just Sideshow Bob and all the band members' like faces pasted onto like astronaut costumes, and it's just a really funny sort of like promotional thing that they're doing.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
But I'm excited for that.
Oh,
but you know what I'm more excited for?
What?
Seeing the next show that the Kimberlys are going to play at.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, if you can read titles, you don't. This it kind of gives away the surprise. But the Kimberlys are here.
The motherfucking Kimberlys. Yeah. So, gentlemen.
What's going on?
Yeah, go ahead. Say your names and shit.
What is going on? My name is Jeramy Roberts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kyle Robertson.
I'm Jake Young.
So how you gentlemen doing? How was your guys' weekends and shit?
Pretty good.
Yeah, it was a good weekend. We had a show at Rackham's.
Rackham.
On Saturday with 10th Wave and Opposite States and Castafellas came over from Miami. It was a great time.
Yeah, we were at Rackham's last weekend. I think we saw 10th Wave there. There was some.
It was Casey's.
Yeah. It's like.
Dope.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a good event. I normally, I think, honestly, I've only really been to Rackham's like a small handful of times. Like, I forget, I normally don't like to go to Cape Coral unless it's Nice Guys Pizza. Other than that, like, I don't really go to the other places, to be honest.
I usually just don't like going to Cape Coral.
Yeah. Gotta pay the toll. It was a little bit far, but,
I'm too cheap for the $2.
Too cheap?
Too cheap.
For the $2, though?
Nah. I also, here's the thing. I have to drive longer than I normally do to go to other venues in Fort Myers.
Right.
And then on top of that, I have to pay $2.
Yeah.
Why would I want to do that to myself?
Yeah.
Usually the only thing that gets me out there is, seeing other bands and friends over in the venues over there.
Mm-hmm.
So, personally.
I do what I can to avoid it.
I mean, you have a good...
No, just throwing shade on all of Cape Coral or anything.
Yeah.
Sorry. Come
Yeah.
to Fort Myers and see us.
I hate
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. Yeah. Yeah, but it used to be like just way worse back then. There used to be like no downtown Cape. So it used to be even more
there's
like...
nothing going on, really.
Jeez. Cape Coral. You know what makes me mad about
Cape Coral?
You know what makes me mad about Cape Coral? I work in Cape Coral, right? And I see how much, just space it has. I'm like, damn, I've never seen an entire city just waste all this space that they have to have cool shit.
It's I think it's the largest city in Florida by square mileage.
Yeah.
It's huge.
And it's fucking Cape Coral.
It's coming together. It's work in progress.
So
we believe in you, Cape Coral.
Yeah. Shout out to you, Cape Coral. We just wish you the best.
We do.
We probably won't see it in our lifetimes, but it's really, really, Cape Coral might be the next Miami, in in 50, 60 years that they just put some infrastructure.
Lots of canals.
Lots of canals still, but shouts out to you, Cape Coral. Well, all right. Let's start off with some questions, man. So some basic ass questions in the beginning. We get a little bit more intimate. So I'm actually really, really curious about this. So what is the origin story of the Kimberlys, and how did you guys all eventually meet each other and form this band?
All right, that'd be for me, probably.
Yeah.
So it started probably 3-4 years ago, so I'm a bit younger, and it was just jam band. I've always been inspired by that. 50s, 60s era.
Yeah.
Of just guys in Chicago or New York just getting on little stages and jamming for a while and then getting contracts, playing together and getting really good, getting tight, and then growing into a super group after that. So I've always had little dreams of that. So there's been fallouts with different people I've worked with,
Right.
And so the Kimberlys have been a thing for a little while.
Right.
But it's never been something tight. And then eventually all kind of ran into each other and it clicked, definitely.
Yeah. We had the front runner for Opposite States,
Chris.
Yeah, Chris. He said he went to 14 different members where he actually settled on so the current state of the Kimberlys, how many years did it take just to even get to that?
It took about 3 years.
3 whole years.
About 3 or 4 different groups of guys.
Jeez.
Just a lot of practices.
Yeah.
Jamming. It's definitely weird.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely been some not so good fallouts. Others have been great. We're still great friends,
Yeah, you're so cool, but you gotta
coming right up on a year though with the 3 of us.
Oh wow.
Putting together.
That's tight.
End of next month. There's a big show. Everybody should come.
Are you having a year anniversary?
Yeah, we are.
Where at?
It's at Rackham's.
Rackham!
They got a new stage going in, I've heard. Rackham, pretty excited about that.
I think Rackham's and Cape Coral is just great.
Jake Young.
Jake Young going full PC. I think Rackham's is great. I appreciate Rackham's. We appreciate you too, Rackham's.
They've been super good to us. We've played there a lot. But But yeah, we have a show coming up then, the 27th, I want to say, with Birdman and Zidna 25 and Cast Fellows, Good Bad Kids.
Ooh.
And now I feel like I'm forgetting someone, but I'm not sure. To be announced. More acts to be announced.
Oh, this is about to be lit. We definitely have to check that out. Yeah, you guys are definitely one of my. You guys in definitely opposite states in 10th Wave, of course. You guys were, I mean, probably my personal favorite like local band of all the bands I've probably have seen. So what was the moment you guys realized that, you know, a whole year ago? At what point you were like, yo, we can actually kind of take this pretty seriously and we'd actually kind of stick together as a band? Like, what was the moment?
I think that it kind of like, we all came into it knowing that we wanted to put together a band that was going to be, you know, something a little different and, but just, you know, have a lot of fun. And Jeremy and I met through a Facebook post.
Really?
That he put up saying, you know, does anybody want to just jam and hang out, whatever, and I was like, yeah, let's go.
There's a story behind that. Can we take a quick side note?
Yeah, it's a podcast.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
So it was my birthday. This was a year ago.
Right.
And I took a trip to Itchtuckney Springs, and there's some campgrounds up there, and we went camping for a week with my girlfriend. And yeah, just spent a week up there, kind of, I don't know, digging deeper into what I wanted to do, because I was just uncertain. And yeah, just after the falling out of 4 different bands under the same name and such, it was hard to find the motivation to want to keep doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But that, you know, week was pretty cool just to relax and kind of dig into it, and definitely found the inspiration. That's when I came back, put up the post, and we all kind of clicked after that and met up. It was very cool. A trip.
Just a trip.
There was a little bit of special stuff that went on in that.
Yeah, some psychedelics. I'll be a mouthpiece for you, Jeremy, because I don't, you know, my mom knows I like to get down.
What's the rating?
Probably some psychedelic drugs, maybe some
you
coke.
can say whatever the fuck you guys want.
Yeah, whatever you feel comfortable.
All right, well,
hey man, some good ass shit went down and the Kimberlys became of it.
Yeah. So yeah, then we went and played, and then Jake is my roommate, and had picked up a bass guitar that was left there by a friend of mine. Never played bass before.
Really?
So he's
interesting.
Drums. And then we were like, yep, you're gonna have to swim fast and play a bunch of cool riffs and stuff, and it just went from there. So yeah.
God damn. So like, what was how much pressure were you under being a drummer transitioning to bass? Was it like a very hard transition, or like have you ever played guitar before?
Jeremy helped me a lot with figuring stuff out for sure. Like I want to say the first 8 songs, he just taught me them.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh damn.
I'll give him this. I've never enjoyed teaching people on stringed instruments. He just took it in his own hands and absolutely just destroyed it.
Damn, boss moves over here. Jake.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny. I feel like for each good band, or if you want to be a great band or whatever, I feel like at least the main person who's like forming the band or whatever, I feel like they always have to have like a big falling out in that low point before they kind of, and at that low point they have to be able to, all right, am I going to actually pick myself up, or I'm just going to never have this dream of a band? And the same thing would happen with Chris. Like he went around the country, he was trying to find, you know, what he wanted to do in life and stuff. So like, but he just managed to get through that. Like I feel like I wonder if that's like a common thing with all these great bands, like a Nirvana or Foo Fighters, AC/DC, whatever band you want to talk about.
I mean, it is kind of just a part of the process, because like
part of the process.
Because like I feel like the most important thing for any band, and I hope you guys can agree with this, is chemistry above all else.
Definitely,
You know, it doesn't matter how good you are. If you can't get along with people, you can't be in a band, because you got to work with these people. You know, unless you're going to do your own solo stuff, then it might be a little different. But like, if you're going to regularly work with people and gig with them and be sweaty with them, lugging gear around, and, you know, basically decide kind of ahead of time. If you ever want to go on a tour, you got to be crammed in with this person for like 6 hours at a time. you know, like you gotta like the person.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer of that. Like, I really do believe that, like, people liking you will get you way further than your money, your talent, your intelligence, whatever the fuck you may offer. People just liking you in general. People want to work with you, whatever. That will definitely get you way more money or anything else.
Yeah, being hard to work with is never going to benefit anybody. And we found a pretty good sort of like chemistry, and like we all have different things that we bring to the band and everything, which really helps. So we're not stepping on each other's toes and stuff when we're trying to get shit done. And it doesn't always work out that way, though. There's, we've all been in quite a few bands, aside from this project, and every band is different. And, the way everything goes a lot of the behind-the-scenes stuff, like, really can make or break how band, will work out.
Yeah.
3 is a good number, too.
That's also
you start.
Yeah, that's true. Like, less people to, like, be, like, indecisive, have different opinions, as John has told me, and talked to me about in the past with his band.
What was it? With Lucid Lake, it's kind of weird to wrangle everyone up because, with all of us, all 5 of us, kind of being a part of the decision process, there has to be like 2 or 3 people that are like, just kind of, that have to either go with the flow or, sometimes it's just hard to communicate with everyone all at once.
Yeah, for sure.
Without like a medium for all of us to kind of communicate with each other, And then, making decisions about, a set list, agreeing on songs and things like that. It's difficult to juggle that. But by the same token, it just kind of like, it's just more ideas to work with.
Right.
But it's kind of what you said about, like hip hop artists.
Yeah.
Very simple dynamic.
Very simple, just rapper, producer. Right. Sometimes a rapper is a producer.
Yeah.
And you just upload it on SoundCloud, at least nowadays. But at least back then with rap groups or whatever, there's maybe 1, 2, maybe 3 people max. It'd be the one front man, right? The one like main rapper, the hype man, and then the main producer who would produce all the music. Super easy dynamic, And that's the thing that I always was curious about rock music, because I know very like little about rock music. Like, of course, I know all the big influential bands, but I'm not like I wouldn't say I'm like a big rock or metal person. But being a fan of just music in general, like I think it's interesting because hip hop now, right? It's kind of taking the mantle of the rock star, this kind of rock star. Big ambiguous life, there's a song by Post Malone called Rockstar, like literally, and then you can take it back to, I forget the rap group's name. They had a song called Party Like a Rockstar. Like, it's like a slow build up. How do you guys feel about, like, I don't know if you guys are big into hip hop or whatever. I assume maybe just a little bit, a little dab, a little bit. Like, do you think it's interesting that the hip hop is now kind of take this mantle of a rock star, and now is it cool, or is it appealing, or you feel like it's like, oh, you're trying to step into our territory?
I think that's kind of like the gimmick of what they're trying to live under in a sense. Like, they're not trying to necessarily poke into that world in any way, but they're just kind of giving a toast of they've had that much success as a genre to where they are rock stars, but it's a different genre. So the only thing they can call is a rock star, because that's the only genre that's been on that level, maybe.
So it's like that's like the classic thing. That's like the image,
compared to it.
But
Eminem was probably the first rapper rock star in my personal opinion. At the time, I think the Eminem Show or whatever album that went like.
I think the title you're looking for is Rap God.
Rap guy. There we go. But I mean, like, because a rock star was normally not only probably the most famous person, like just in the world, like the most recognizable. Like these people were the larger like life and like the culture, the influence or whatever. I feel like at least with rap, Eminem was probably the first rapper / rock star. He was the only, at least in that year or whatever, he went diamond or whatever, which is like 10 times platinum. Like, he was the biggest artist that year, and he was probably the most famous and most recognizable person in a genre with mostly damn near only black people, him being a white person from Detroit, of all places. You know, I feel like that was the beginning, and then it kind of slowly progressed.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the overall image, though, of like, you know, because it's just, when you break it down, it's just like rock stars are cool, you know, they're flashy, they
cool,
do crazy
flashy
shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, that goes back quite a ways in hip-hop. You can go back to, you know, Pretty Ricky and dudes like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Slick Rick, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, and I think that what is interesting, though, kind of, is that, like, the art, in hip hop, a lot of the time, the art is being the rock star and just and telling everybody about how you are the rock star. And, you know, like, in rock music, the art is separate and apart. You know what I mean? Like, the music is one thing, and then if you want to be a rock star and be Keith Moon and throw a TV out the window and shit, like, you know, then it just is in the papers and all that. But it's, you know, I don't know. It's like, it is an interesting thing, but I don't. We'll see where we end up. I don't plan on throwing TV through the window anytime soon. Or anything like that.
Speaking of which, how do you guys like curate a new sound with rock music, being a fairly new rock band? Like, how do you just stick to things that you like, or do you not? Do you just try to be yourselves? Like, because I know with speaking again in hip hop, like, it feels like a lot of people are doing a lot of the same things, but I feel like there's still a lot of new, different subgenres constantly being created.
Definitely.
Like, what is it? JPEG Mafia and Death Grips kind of
push
the envelope.
Push the envelope, you know, and that's what I really like about hip hop. You know, there's always different subgenres of rappers and rap artists in general trying to push the genre. People may hate mumble rap, but I felt like it pushed the genre in a different way that I didn't think that it would be possible. That motherfuckers are literally mumbling and getting like top 40 hits for a rap song.
This makes me sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, art is an uncontrolled thing, though, you know, and it just sort of evolves, and that's kind of what's, you know, that's what's cool about it, is like things will come and go, and different people see different, like, you know, different things in the result, you know, and like in the product, but if it works for them, it works for them. Good for them if they're selling it, you know.
Yeah.
So
you guys try to just stick to your personal roots when you try to make your music, and like stick to the things that you enjoy. You don't try to
really. Our sound is rooted in Jeramy Roberts over there.
Right.
He's a creative force, and there's a lot of inspiration there, and other people. I'm sure he could tell you more about that, but. Yeah, I mean, like, we all bring, you know, our own style to certain things. But I'd say the overall, like, the big picture of what we sound like and what we're going to keep sounding like is you know, his the songs that he's written and the style that he brings, which, you know, I would have never come up with the things that he comes up with. And play the things that he.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Without that, you know.
Yeah.
And bringing it.
Speaking of you, Jeremy, it's funny. I think when the first time I saw you guys, I don't remember where I saw you. Maybe it was at Beach Records. Maybe Nice Guys. I don't quite remember. I actually thought you were British. It's funny because you had the very like British aesthetic with like your hair, the way you dress and stuff like that.
Sort
like
of the vintage rock.
Vintage rock,
the
British invasion with the Doors and the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and shit like that. I don't think the Doors are British. Was the Doors British?
They're from Venice, California.
Yeah. But but the Doors even still had that like same. They got that look. Like, how much, you said earlier, like, how much does that, like, when did that begin having a big influence on your life? That whole, you said earlier, like, the 50s, 60s.
Golden era
of rock.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, I've always been fascinated by it. Since I was young, just thought people who looked like that were just fucking coolest people ever, you know, from Hendrix to...
Right.
You know.
Yeah. Let me kind of interrupt you for a second, because I think it was, I think it was Gage from 10th Wave that described you as the embodiment of sex. Like literally the embodiment of like if sex was a person, it is Jeramy.
Wow. Yeah. I think Young Thug would have something to say about that, but that's interesting. The embodiment of sex.
That's a good one. I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
It's going on our next show poster for sure. Though.
Yeah, the embodiment. So says Gage.
Who was it that said it? I'm going to credit him.
It was Gage.
It was Gage. Yeah. Yeah. Did they say it on a podcast?
No, this was between me and him. I think this was at the Beach Records show you all played.
This guy is shit, man. Gage just says you personally like, yo, John. It's like, what's up? I think Jeramy is the embodiment of sex. But don't tell him.
Oh no! This was like mid performance, I think.
Really? He just felt something.
Either that. Actually, I can't even remember the context. Like, I'm probably just making this up. I remember he told me this though, and I was just I couldn't help but agree. It's because of the way you perform. Like when you're in front of the mic, you know, when you're singing, it's this very dynamic, sort of like, you know, this very emotional sort of response in front of the mic, which, you know, it gives off this very sort of, I guess for lack of a better term, a sensual vibe. And it just seems to kind of, I just couldn't disagree with him. That's
You're like, you were saying, I mean, why, yes, I do. I agree. Sex.
You're right.
Yeah, like John was saying, like I feel like you're John's Closet. John's Closet. We always talking about gay stuff in John's Closet, man. So it's very fitting. Now, yeah, I put it like, mind you, I don't know too much about rock music, so I only use like the more popular bands. Like you kind of remind me of Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin, the way his vocal style, and it kind of reminds me of his song "Immigrant Song." It's where like exaggerated and emotional behind it, mixed with a little bit of Jimi Hendrix. So I'm glad you said that earlier. Like, what do you have a particular artist that you try to mimic after for your vocal style? Because it does remind me so much of that, like 60s old rocker.
It's I've never tried to really mimic anyone. I've always been almost in the mindset of they're those people are my friends, almost as if I've had these sessions with them.
Right.
I'm just one with these people, not as like I'm trying to become one with them. Just trying to tap into the world they would have been in, almost, you know, and pull in from that. And so I'm sure you could go on saying it sounds a lot like someone, or I definitely have inspiration from people for sure. But I try to, you know, everybody wants to be original, I would say, especially nowadays. And it's
I think you just have to be original in some parts. Like you can clearly get influence from other people. Like I always hate that term where like you gotta sound completely the opposite of anybody else. I'm like, no, like that's what's the point of enjoying other people's music and taking little things from them if you can't even like try to, like I'm sure mad people have taken different riffs and like, you know, they said a lot of the old rockers or whatever, Led Zeppelin, they said they would take a lot of the riffs from old blues singers and stuff like that. So like
Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah, Stairway to Heaven.
It's ripped off.
Yeah, so like and Stairway to Heaven's a great song too. So as long as you pay some kind of homage or it just at least acknowledge where you got these things from, like, you know,
or if you kill it.
Or if you kill it, or if it's a good song.
As long as you steal it and then you just fucking kill it. It's like, alright, well, you did it way better than
us. Hey man, when I stole it, I just flipped it way better, dog. Props to you, man.
That's how they got away with
it. So how much does...
by the way, I got a new single coming out. It's called Politician.
Politician?
Same.
So how long, wait, I don't think I asked, how long have you been playing music in general? Like, when did you start playing?
Music's always been in my life, for sure, since, you know, I was born under my parents. And it's about probably 9-10 years old when I picked up the guitar. And just, it wasn't until I was 5 years into it that I really just found it in deeper meaning to digging harder. But yeah, it's about 9-10, so I've been playing for 12 years, probably.
Yeah, and you grew up in Fort Myers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Kyle Ann, she was on last, and she also grew up in Fort Myers. Though she might be a little bit older than you, and she said that the music scene down here was there was only she said like a couple of bands, and they would play at different like house parties and stuff like that, and like
back in the day,
like way back in the day. I'm not sure how old you are, but like, what was the music scene around here when you were growing up? Because her take was like very interesting. How like it was literally like 3 or 4 bands, but it was a little bit more intimate.
Yeah, it was pretty bland. I'd say it was kind of if not nothing besides like bar scene, and acoustic gigs at the beach maybe.
I feel like there's been some waves.
You got your big stuff that comes through town, Jeremy Arena or some bigger events, but there hasn't been that culture of, kids being inspired by bands they've seen locally, and it actually sparks a scene, which is what we're seeing now kind of for the first time. We're seeing high school age bands.
10th wave, right?
Yeah, that's great.
And, not just one of them either, many of them. And it's definitely a cool thing to see for a town that hasn't had it. My parents had a band here.
Really?
80s, and
well, mine too.
It's his as well, yeah. So it's kind of cool to see. We both had our own family in past times that have been in this same area doing the same thing we're doing, and it never went anywhere, and it was probably way worse even back then. Way more dead, probably not even as much. So
Tenth Wave was telling us, or at least when I asked him the question, that like the people are here to have these scenes. It's just that the bands and the venues just weren't here for most of the time.
Yeah, I feel like it's like such a growing city that, it's really just constantly exploding, and there's more and more things going on, all the time. But I mean, it's gonna continue to grow. I think that the music scene here has a lot of momentum. There's new venues and stuff kind of popping up, and different places are starting to see the value in it, and they know that if you throw a band a couple $100, then you're gonna bring people out, and like that's the at the end of the day, that's their objective, and everybody I think is pretty like conscious of that. We don't have like bands going around making a bad name for musicians and stuff, which is good. Everybody's doing their thing, and like it's helping everything grow. And there's been a handful of individuals who have like really gone above and beyond for that, like a bunch of the venue owners have put in their own their money for stages and lights and sound systems and stuff, and different promoters have been doing a great job, and so it's definitely coming along, and I think that it's going to be really cool to see in 5-10 years what's the situation at that point. It's pretty important to curate a local music, and that's how you get places like Seattle and right, Atlanta, which is really big with hip hop, and of course like New York and LA was always
but like all these other places that weren't known for its music scene,
like Athens,
right. Georgia. Right.
Which we still need to visit there.
Apparently it's really nice.
If any sponsors want to fund a trip to
Athens, Georgia for John's Closet.
They take a whole closet. They're going to
take a whole closet. Just
I have an SUV. I can fit most of my closet in there.
That'd be funny if like we went to the venue, right? They have like all the stage, like yo, actually, where's your closet at? Keep it humble. Keep it authentic.
Just a mobile closet.
Just a mobile closet. All right, let's break with a fun question. Let's do a fun question. You got your fun question list over there? Or you think you can?
No, I'm just gonna pull from the list right now. I don't want to exhaust my creativity too soon. By exhaust my creativity, I mean it's already exhausted. So I'm looking at the list to procrastinate and waste time.
All right. What you got?
All right.
Ooh. It's got a lot of juicy. Ooh.
If you were to be reincarnated,
right,
as a particular type of race or gender, for a specific like privilege that you get because of it,
right?
What would you be reincarnated as?
Weird question.
Like
you're already white males. You're already at the top totem pole.
I go alien.
Go alien. That's a fair question, man.
What was your answer?
I think I said a hot white girl living in the Midwest. especially in the Midwest. Because I feel like
pretty well.
Yeah, just all the different premiums of not having to work or worry about different things. I just want that type of lifestyle of just being relaxed all the time. And people... See, here's the thing, in the Midwest, right? Because I can't be a hot girl in Miami, New York, LA. There's plenty of hot girls there. But in the Midwest, bro, if you're the only hot girl in an entire town, dog, you might as well just be the mayor or the queen of that fucking town. you can get with anything. You could probably shoot a black cop as a hot white girl in the Midwest and get away with it and be fine. It's like, oh, well, he probably did something to provoke her. That... I'm telling you, there's nothing, no higher privilege than pretty girl privilege. Yeah,
I totally agree.
Because money, you know, you can lose money. You have to work for it or whatever. You know, skin color privilege or colorism privilege. You know, you're also born with it. But as a pretty girl, that shit. All you need to do is just maintain the prettiness. Yo, dog, that's just for life. And it's amazing. I want that shit. Also, I want free drinks. That's what I'm really getting at. Free drinks.
Free drinks sound great.
So
yeah, what about you, Jeremy? What do you?
Yeah.
That's a tough one, man. What race would I be, and what gender?
Yeah.
So that I could get a privilege of it.
Yeah.
Ooh. See, I try to be like very kind, and this is not at all. I don't like to have a privilege. I like to be kind of even. You know what I mean? I don't know.
People say like indigenous.
I would say if I could
somewhere.
be in any predicament or situation of my own choosing, my choosing would be to be in power of international wealth and you know, friendship.
Affairs.
So that I could kind of run amok in whatever society I wanted to of, you know, various programs and
goddamn.
And I don't know, just, you know, go off on my own things. That would be kind of my thing. If I could be some, I don't know, what would you be?
Jeremy Roberts 2020.
Jeremy Roberts. Jeremy Roberts 2020.
We're going to the White House.
I want to see that happen. I want a campaign.
Yeah, grab their pussies with consent.
Grab the norm knobs.
But ask permission first.
Fight the Martians.
We have permission sheets.
Yeah, permission sheets. Have you seen Chappelle's show?
I love it.
Yeah.
You know, yo, I swear to God, Chappelle's show was probably the most prophetic sketch I've ever seen. You remember one scene, it was one small sketch, I think in the beginning, was the love contract.
Yeah.
This happened. Every time I think about what's happening today with the use of consent and the Me Too movement and shit like that, I just think back then where he was just like, before we have sex, let's sign this love contract. And I'm like, a love contract? And I'm like, that's actually a pretty good idea nowadays. And I think, don't they have an app for that? Like a love, like a consent
I think
app?
we were kind of joking about it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't doubt it if it became a thing.
I'm pretty sure it is. Where you can put your thumb finger on it.
I would like to know, and I would like to know the dynamics of it, so that I can steal the idea and just make it that much better.
Yeah.
Like the song "Politician" by the Kimberlys. I mean, by John Wesley.
We'd love to hear a cover.
Oh my gosh. What about you?
Actually, I did cover one of your songs.
Did you?
I showed it to Kyle and I sent it to Jake. But it basically it's the song's called "Figuring Out," and it's a little dubstep remix. Because I summoned my inner 2013 self.
Is that fake? Is dubstep so cool? Can I become a dubstep artist now? No, I'm serious. Like I don't know. Is it still allowed?
Like I think what you have to do is you can have like one per album, but everything else has to be like mindless progressive house.
Okay. So progressive house is just back in.
And 3 songs have to be radio friendly with a millennial loop.
Right.
And I think you're good. I think you can then be qualified as a DJ or electronic artist.
God damn.
There you go.
Fuck. What's that one band that made let me take a selfie. What's the deal?
Oh God.
What are they called?
I have no idea.
Jimi Hendrix Experience.
Definitely called the Jimi Hendrix Experience. What's the best Jimi Hendrix album? Which one do you think?
Are you experienced?
Are you experienced?
I feel that way.
What about you, Jeremy?
Oh,
We're about to have a
I'm
debate.
big into. I feel like off his live performances, just anything. Oh, anything, man.
Anything.
I'm the biggest Hendrix fan. You can't ask me that. That's unfair.
Yeah. What do you
it's-
think? You're just
Yeah, kind of the same. Like he's one of those that like the albums are obviously great,
Yeah.
but like the live performances is really
really where he shines.
Yeah, it's Jimi Hendrix territory because he's so spontaneous and it's always something different and yeah.
Best live performer, you think?
In my opinion,
Probably. I mean,
just
yeah,
I'm
like
so into
it's
guitar.
There's
okay.
so many errors. Like
Yeah.
it's like hard to compare him standing on a stage to
playing guitar.
Janet Jackson at the Super Bowl or
I
something.
mean, comparing him
But,
to
like,
other guitarists.
But, as a guitarist,
Yeah.
absolutely.
See, I know just enough
Interesting.
Jimi Hendrix songs to keep my guitarist card, but that's about it.
Gotcha. Interesting. Wow. All right. Let's go back to you, Kyle. Let's ask a similar question like I asked Jeremy. So, how did you get your start in music? What was that whole background story? Start from the beginning.
From the beginning.
Yeah.
Go back and.
When did music touch you? And where?
Well, my dad was a drummer and my uncle was a drummer, and
Okay.
my uncle plays a lot of things. He's a very musically inclined guy. So I grew up around people playing music all the time and had a drum set in my house, and I didn't really get serious about it until probably high school. Like I would play around with it a little bit, when I was younger and stuff, but I started like trying to practice and whatever, and I played like in the band in school and that kind of thing. A couple like high school bands, and then I wasn't really playing music very much. Like I went to school and I was like doing other stuff and whatever, and then a friend of mine wanted to put together a little acoustic group that I was working with, and so we put together that group and played for a while in this sort of same scene, and then I played with a few other bands between then and now, and then Kimberlys started, and that's all I've been doing for a while now.
Has Kimberlys been the longest band you've been a part of?
I think Whiskey and Wine was the first group. We played for probably about a year, maybe a year and a half or so. I played with Opposite States too. I'm one of the missing members of that. The past members. I played with 3i with Tony Rainey and Dakota Kyle.
Try
Yeah, the most mispronounced name band of all time. And then Kimberlys. So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been a fun couple of years, and.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the first time I saw Opposite States, you were drumming for them.
Yeah.
And then when I went to their music video release, I saw you guys there, and then I saw Jay Cobb on the drum set, and I was like, wait a minute, what? I'm like, what happened here? And then, what was it? I think, and then I saw at the Battle of Bands, Jake was also playing in Personal Kings.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Yeah, shout out Personal Kings.
yeah.
Shouts out.
Personal Kings.
But I looked at Jake and was just like, wait, how many bands is this dude in? Like,
Yeah.
Now just two.
Now just
just
two. What was the max that you were playing? You were like, yo, dog, this is too much. Are basses that hard to come by?
It'd be
Or you playing drums?
bassists and drummers are fucking hard to come by.
Yeah, you're a
Absolutely.
combo
Fucking
meal, 2 for 1.
guitarists, and you're just
Special.
dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, I realized that the hard way, and then I was like, well, fuck, I gotta get really good at guitar to stand out. Like,
Yeah.
that's really the only way you can do it. You gotta play more than Wonderwall, and then pray, and then maybe you'll be in a band. Maybe.
Wait.
Unless you start the band,
You saying that I have to play more than Wonderwall?
Yeah.
Fuck. God damn it. It's probably why.
Today is gonna be the day
Yeah.
that you're gonna finally learn guitar.
Oh my god. So Jeremy was saying that like he gets a lot of his influence or his guitar playing and stuff like that. Just influence in general from Jimi Hendrix. Now, is there a particular drummer that you get a lot of your influence from?
There's a lot of drummers. I kind of stick with the older kind of drummers for if I'm trying to sound like somebody or something like that. Like that's kind of because a lot of the modern drums are really, really good and really, really like perfect. Right. And, like I kind of like the messy.
It's like a little choppy.
Kind of, So like Mitch Mitchell, John Bonham, and Keith Moon, who was talking about earlier, is like one of my favorite people ever. Not just drummers, just But then like I'm a little older than these guys, so I grew up very much in Nirvana, Blink-182 era. So like Dave Grohl and Travis Barker and like those dudes are definitely an influence also.
Speaking of Nirvana, when we had Kyle in last time, she just been really like, Kurt Cobain is a better songwriter than Dave Grohl ever, and I was like, but no, Dave, Kurt Cobain. I'm like, all right, whatever.
And she kind of followed that up with like, you want to know how Dave Grohl learned all his shit?
Yeah.
Nirvana.
I was like, yeah, I guess I can't argue with that. Do you have a different opinion on that, or you feel like Kurt Cobain is just like the holy grail, the thing you just can't touch?
I mean, there's no question that Kurt Cobain was great. Frontman for the band, and had his own unique style that nobody else really can emulate. You know what I mean? I think that Dave Grohl was really, really driven to be in a great band, and Nirvana ended, and he was like, we're gonna keep playing music, and
he became the Foo Fighters too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's a huge band, and he, is frontman for it instead of a drummer. It's really a huge transition, like for a professional drummer to just be like, I'm the frontman now, and this is gonna be the thing. Is like so he does not sound anything, or like have the kind of like style that Cobain had, but like. Foo Fighters.
Yeah, has there? I'm trying to think. I don't know my music history to that in depth, but like, has there ever been like a more like successful transition? Because Kurt Cobain was like so high up, even when he was still alive. They were saying he was like the voice of his generation, whatever, like some shit like that. Yeah. And then he dies, right? And then the drummer. Who I don't know if they really knew Dave Grohl back then, besides just Kurt Cobain. I mean, I'm sure he was mildly famous. Clearly not as famous as Kurt Cobain. Right. And then he forms his own band and becomes the Foo Fighters. Is still its own well-respected band. That's like a crazy
it doesn't happen very much,
to step up that high.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if
I can't think of another one
for a band.
Other examples of drummers that. I'm sure there are some, and I'm probably an asshole for not knowing. But I'm not the biggest music
historian.
Yeah, exactly. There's I'm sure friends of mine that'll listen to this and be like, "You idiot! You didn't say this one."
Or not even like a drummer, just like the not the front man, like the bassist.
Yeah, I mean, like,
rhythm guitarist, like, just like, fuck it.
I'm sure it has happened. A lot of the time we don't realize, like, all the other projects people have been involved in and stuff. And,
that's very true.
There's a sort of communities of people, you know what I mean? And they're all working together, and they're eventually, like, some of their stuff will, become successful. We watched something the other day about Royal Blood and how they were talking about they were, studio musicians and played on other, a bunch of other people's stuff and ended up working together and made that band. But so they've played, and I don't know what the records were exactly, but they were working studio musicians for a long time, so they're on other people's tracks, and in the background.
So a lot of like uncredited, and
just like they're working,
played to play.
Until something.
I played to play.
See, I'm trying to think. A friend of ours is kind of almost in that sort of in that camp. Tim.
Right? Yeah.
He works on other people's projects as basically a session musician at the Vibe, and then I know that Jeremy, you were on Kate Scales EP.
I was.
Yeah. So So it's kind of cool to see kind of other musicians just kind of, being featured. I mean, even Foo Fighters, I think on Concrete and Gold, they had Paul McCartney play drums.
Really?
Was that the album?
Concrete and Gold?
I think that's their latest album.
Oh, maybe their latest? I have no idea.
I could be wrong about the album, but they did feature Paul McCartney, and they were like, we're going to take this iconic bassist, guitarist, songwriter, and we're going to make him play drums.
Yeah.
So, which, not that he was foreign to it, but he knew how to do it. It was still sort of like, it's interesting to see, because, like, I think the Beatles were kind of this super group where everyone could play each other's instruments.
A little sidebar. Quincy Jones, right? Dude who worked with Michael Jackson for Thriller, and I think the Off the Wall as well, or whatever. Some of those famous albums of all time. He was telling a story about Ringo Starr in I think a Rolling Stones interview or whatever. He was saying, like, Ringo Starr, terrible drummer, bad, like he couldn't do any of the songs or whatever. It was taking forever, so he like called up like a jazz drummer or whatever to come in and do some of the drum parts, because I guess he couldn't do it. Like, does Ringo Starr not get enough credit in the Beatles? You feel like you feel like he's like?
I think that
he just got knighted.
Yeah,
got knighted.
He's doing all right.
Yeah,
it is great. Yeah,
fine. I don't think it's not the most complicated drum band to play the drums in, for sure. But I think that he played some kind of interesting stuff, and some stuff that at the time was probably not like super common, and was trying to be interesting and different, and like he's probably not the most technically capable drummer in the world, but I think he was trying to be interesting, trying to be an artist.
Wasn't he a lefty?
Is he a lefty?
He might have been. I don't actually know.
I'm calling.
I should Google.
Is that your reason why he's a lefty?
Jake is a
drummer.
lefty.
I'm a lefty.
But plays a right-handed setup drum set.
Interesting.
As did Ringo.
As did Ringo.
I think Aaron's the same way.
Yeah.
I think Aaron's left-handed.
Poor Ringo, man. Because like John Lennon's immortalized, Paul McCartney, right? George Harrison. Ringo, they're like, oh shit, that was a drummer.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn.
He's doing all right there. He's getting the Skechers money.
Hey man, do you, Ringo Starr? Yeah. Oh my gosh. So why do you feel that like drummers don't get enough limelight as a part of the band? Like, I get they're not the leading person, but it's like,
I mean, I think it's pretty much as simple as that. Like, somebody has to, sit in the back and
just,
you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I don't know. There definitely are drummers that are more highlighted than others, and some that want to be highlighted more than others. And I think that the three of us really, I mean, Jeramy is absolutely, the focal point of our live performances. But I think that the three of us are all really pretty well featured, and
I think so.
So it's but I mean it's I think a lot of drummers really don't aren't the personality type that they want to be.
They're typically more reserved. Yeah. Anyways, right.
I think there's only a few drummers that I can't
really name
that really build themselves a name, where it's just as big as the front man. I think I'm trying to think, maybe like
Travis Barker.
Travis Barker. Kind of in lieu of that, maybe Trey from Green Day, because he he kind of
Neil Peart definitely is thrown around all the time.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
That you said Joey Jorgensen, people know.
Oh yeah.
Yep. But yeah, it's
people love their Bonham.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Drummers were more glorified in the olden days.
Right.
Buddy Rich and Duke Ellington and those guys.
Very true.
They was like their band.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because the drummer is like such a huge focal point. Like, I'm very surprised that like drummers aren't more like a guitarist. Like a guitarist and a frontman, they'll always be like, because they're literally in the front, the most recognizable. But like, I feel like the drummers contribute so much, and they're so like explosive and loud. And
I heard a great quote that was, "The best drummer is the one you don't notice."
Right.
Because you only notice a drummer when he fucks up or she fucks up.
I've heard the same thing for bassists, actually.
Rhythm section. If rhythm section fucks up, you're like, wait.
Right.
Someone's playing there?
Yeah. So, and, I'm trying to think. First off, have you guys seen Whiplash?
Oh,
Yeah.
No.
You didn't see it?
You haven't seen Whiplash? Oh my god.
You especially. You would like it a lot.
Yeah, I've been told.
It's
Yeah, that shit on
good.
DVD, fam. That shit is good.
Can I borrow that?
Yeah, for sure. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, that's really what I wanted.
It's like, have you seen
It's a good
Whiplash?
movie.
It's a really good movie. Like, just like past the fact that, you know, he's a drummer or whatever, like the story, the cinematography, I mean, just him playing in general.
The
He
struggles
plays
of
his ass off. in
yeah,
the struggles of being a college musician.
yeah. It's just a really interesting movie past just him just being a drummer at Berkeley. It's a very, like, it's very, very intelligent.
Berkeley-esque school.
Berkeley-esque school. Based on the director's experiences at Berkeley. But yeah,
I'm just trying to be
good movie.
nitpicky. Trying to steal your thunder.
Steal my thunder. Now, what's a small mark of a good drummer versus a bad drummer? I think you said earlier the one you don't notice, right?
The one you don't notice.
What about you? You co-sign that?
For, for certain things, yeah, like, sorry, hang on.
Dang. I mean, I definitely appreciate seeing a drummer for the right reasons. You know what I mean? Like, some drummers are more, expressive and trying to play more interesting stuff. But like Pearson Wicker from Electric Metal go off and do, a solo for 8 minutes, and I love watching that too. So it's, you definitely notice him. You can't not notice him. But every now and then it's cool. Yeah, I think the mark of a good drummer is your ability, like the people's reaction. I always like talk about how it's kind of like crowd control. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want them to notice, but you want them to feel it. And so like if you can get people to start moving around and stuff, or like, if they're tapping their foot and they're like getting into it, then as a drummer, you're doing what you're supposed to do.
Interesting.
The mark of a good drummer is a small goat's tattoo
Goat's tattoo,
on the right buttocks. Generally speaking.
Also that.
Just generally speaking.
Jake, is there something you need to talk about?
Yeah. Are you planning on getting a goat's tattoo on the side of your?
My ass hurts right now. Very recent. I just got inducted.
Is that
Just get inducted.
a real thing?
It's true.
Show us right now.
All good drummers have it.
All good drummers.
We're in the closet. You're safe.
Yeah, you're safe. Hey, man.
Nah, I just got it removed.
Well, what about you, Jake? Like, what's your story with music in general and stuff? Like, how did you personally get started with music?
In 7th grade, my mom said I had too much energy, so I should play drums.
Mad ADD type of shit.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda? Do you actually have ADD?
No.
No?
Not that. Yeah, we asked the doctor, and they said no. But
Was the doctor like, no? He just said no. He was like, no, any examination?
pretty quick. It was pretty
Damn,
quick.
just in and out.
It just looked at you.
Like, nah, he's fine.
Nah.
she was a lovely
sounds
Indian
good.
lady. I don't think she really believed in ADD.
Probably a good thing.
It's probably a good thing.
Probably
Yeah.
a good thing. So you started in the 7th grade with the drums, right?
Yeah, drum, just concert band. Then high school was marching band and jazz band,
Mm-hmm.
and then basses, like you said, right when I joined this band, got on it.
And then you guys went to school for music, right?
None of
No.
us.
None.
Jake has done some recording.
I took one beginner piano class at Edison when it was still Edison.
Still Edison.
Back when it was still Edison.
Yeah,
back when it
the
was
sound
still-
engineer program at the Vibe. I did that
Uh-huh.
a few years ago.
Nice.
And then you were constantly drumming and stuff like that. What was and then clearly Jeremy came up to you and was like, yo, play bass.
Kyle did.
Oh, Kyle did, I'm sorry. Kyle did. How the hell did Kyle convince you to play a whole different instrument?
I was kind of fucking around with it.
You were just
'cause it
fucking
was-
around with it.
Because it
We
was
had
just
a
at
free
the
one.
house. Yeah,
Just had a free one,
There's
yeah,
a bass
right.
at the house.
And he was just like, yo, play that shit. It's like, yes, sir.
Yes, master.
Yes, master.
That's how it goes in our house.
Yeah.
Kyle is dad.
Ah!
It was a whiplash.
Your name is
situation.
Bassist. So, like,
Not
what
quite
was
my tempo?
what do you feel like was the hardest part about playing bass? Like, was there any hard part? You just
I did.
so natural.
I did this so much from drumming. I'm
Yeah.
constantly tapping on my fingers, so when
Mhm.
you just move it down. So really
Mhm.
it was the left hand, and I still don't know scales. I know 2 scales.
You know 2 scales?
I know 2 scales.
And you still play that well.
Like I said, Jeremy.
Jeremy
gives me that notes.
Fucking goddamn rock star out here. Fuck. Kimberly's got everything on point.
Well, you know, I got a question for Jeremy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jeremy, I warned you about this question ahead of time. So let me tell you now. If Jake and Kyle both went hiking, and somehow, for whatever reason, they were both hanging off a cliff, and you could only save one of them, who would you save?
I'd probably have to save Jake. Only because
Cold-blooded.
I'm so in debt to him.
Right.
What'd I do?
But in the same sense, there's a lot of debt owed to Kyle. So this is
damn.
Now I'm struggling. Now I'm like, holy shit.
Gotta kill both of them.
I might just have to walk away from the whole situation.
Save none of it. Yeah.
This is too much. Just walks away.
Yeah.
It's about to be called the Jeremys. Well, damn. Oh, that got heated. Oh, wow. Just
on the car ride home, it's gonna be Jeremy. We need to talk.
Different friendship from that
one. Just change the whole dynamic, man.
Grant Cobb of the Birdman, who also lives with us, will now be the lead singer of the Kimberlys.
Yeah.
We're stealing the project.
Oh my gosh! So what's your guys' overall relationship with opposite states? Clearly, you're in opposite states, Jake. But like, what was it like? You know, meeting Chris and everybody else from opposite states. So like, how?
Fucking dickheads.
Assholes.
Total cocks.
They're calling you out, Chris.
Their music sucks.
Music sucks.
Have you heard that new EP?
Yeah.
Garbage.
No, it was really bad.
Gave me the CD, and I was like, "Ooh, who listens to CDs?"
Somebody made me want to throw up.
It's like,
God, that song.
Dogs, it's all about the digital age. I got Spotify and shit.
I plugged it in.
Yeah.
And just poop started coming out of my speakers.
Garbage.
I was what?
Damn.
Very weird.
You know my idea of why his name is called Opposite States? You know, back in the day, like in like middle school or high school, where like, say you and your homies or whatever, they all have girlfriends, you don't have a girlfriend, right? And this is back early internet age, right? So you're like, it's like, where's your girlfriend at, Chris? Like, well, my girlfriend lives in the opposite state, man. She don't live here. That's your always excuse. She lives in like some like ambiguous state. She lives in like Montana. You didn't even know where Montana was. Shit, I don't even know where Montana is. Fuck. Definitely not going there ever.
It's like west or something.
Yeah, west. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Westish.
It's east
But
if
yeah,
you try hard enough.
that probably is how that happened.
Yeah.
I had to guess.
Yeah. He said something else. I don't remember because I'm sticking to my own personal bias story. Sorry, Chris. It's the story that I thought of would be the
his
most
story
funny.
was that he was traveling around and then wrote the song Opposite States in Montana.
Right.
You know,
With his girlfriend.
Yeah.
With his girlfriend. Oh my gosh. You know, there used to be a beauty with catfishing back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Just because the internet was such a mysterious thing that you trying to meet a girl on an online chat room and you fly out just for her to be a...
Oh no, I remember the first day I signed up for Tinder.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, I'm really that attractive.
Yeah.
Then I found out I'm only attractive if I go to their websites. If they send me a hyperlink and I click on it,
dog.
that's when they're like, okay.
Yeah. Fam, if you're getting catfish today, nowadays, bruh, you just take the L. You just
You know what I do?
Yeah.
I try to see if there's like actually a person on the other side or if it's a bot.
Yeah.
Like if someone's catfishing, what I'll do is I'll still send the message.
Skype
right?
that bitch. FaceTime.
No. But if it doesn't make sense,
right.
I'll see if I can keep it going to where it does make sense.
Okay.
You ever see that video of the one dude that replies to like spam email?
Yeah.
Like where they start messaging him back.
Yeah.
Dude, I do shit like that.
Dude, wait, some of the spam email has gotten creative because back in the day it would be like, hey, how are you? Like, how was your day? sexy girls, go to this website if you want to see big cocks and sexy girls going in, like clearly a bot. But now, like some of them will actually have like a conversation, like they'll have like an automatic response because you normally will say hi, how are you? Like, oh, I'm doing good, how are you? Like, oh shit. This model-looking girl who's 20 years old who says he just wants a young strapping man. Maybe she's interested in me.
What I do actually sometimes when it gets obvious, I start saying design a better bot. Like I send that message.
And then see how they
But the
respond.
problem is that people have been doing that and they did design a better bot.
Yeah.
That's why
I'm sorry,
design
guys.
a worse bot.
I'm single-handedly making catfishing worse for everyone. Fuck all of you.
Going in the wrong direction.
Somebody's got catfish
Be in
a
a
couple
box
times.
and you'll just
Hey,
be
man.
actually talking.
Don't put your personal problems on John's Closet podcast. Goddamn.
Oh, by the way, we lost sponsorships to OkCupid, Tinder, Plenty of Fish.
Plenty of Fish. No, we got the map. We got porn websites though.
Grindr.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The porn hubs and the X videos and shit like that. We had a whole segment with Chris just on that.
That makes sense. I heard that's where he gets a lot of his material.
Oh
Shit.
Oh
shit.
That's right here too, man.
You know, I really like
Shout
the
out to
song
Fight outside
Big
the
Titty
quads.
Bitches.
Big titty
You know,
bitches on his new EP.
It's the B-side track on his EP.
Yeah. It's the it's the extended version. Extended.
Extended.
Yeah.
Like Viagra.
I tried. Fuck you guys. I always want to ask. So
Listen, no matter what you do, it won't grow, Sydney. Those ads are all fake. There's no such thing.
So you're saying it's not gonna make my dick like look like a baby arm by taking these pills? You saying that's a lie?
Yeah, a little bit.
It's a little bit. Damn. Who would have known?
But you know, if you want to pay me $20, I'll give you some pills that work.
Oh. Well, I'll have to take up that offer. That sounds great. Oh.
They make you shrink a whole 2 inches.
This is why the free market is collapsing.
Yeah. I was wondering. So, do you guys have any groupies?
No groupies.
No groupies?
Girlfriends. We have girlfriends.
No. That's not the thing I asked. You got any groupies, male or female? Because there are definitely male groupies nowadays.
Apparently, Gage.
Yeah.
Gage, yeah. Definitely Gage.
He's in the 25.
We just found out.
Groupie. He's our groupie. For
He's
sure.
your groupie?
We definitely
Yeah.
We like to think at least.
Cody Smith has been there for us many times.
Yeah, Cody's definitely a groupie for you guys. Probably. I don't know.
Definitely involved in not just you guys, but a lot of the local music scene.
Shout out to Cody Smith. I know he listens to the podcast. Shout out to that guy.
We like to respect our groupies. We don't put them out there. You know what I mean?
Oh, Jeremy, I feel you. I feel you.
Kiss and don't tell.
Yeah.
We don't kiss.
Incognito group.
Jeremy's not kissing anybody. Dang, he's gonna beat his ass.
Yeah. Oh, you, Jake?
I won't even
You
just
single?
get.
You
I'll
got a
be
girl?
murdered. I'll be.
Put the message out there. Put the beacon.
Yeah.
Jake reminds me. Said, look, listen up to all my groupies and all my fans of John's Closet. I don't know about John, but I'm definitely fucking my fans. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. What's the point of having fans if you can't fuck them? They're my fan. They like me for me, and they hear me every week talking into their ears and shit.
You guys should have groupies.
Yeah, dude, I would love to have some
John's
groupies.
Closet groupies.
They're like always saying us. They're just waiting for us
There
to
are gonna be
come
a bunch of
outside.
people that find us through our Grindr subscription. You know. By the way, we have a Grindr account. We don't actually have.
Dude, we should. We should have a whole Grindr account and then come back and like tell us how how it
I mean, you
was
should just make a bot.
for a week.
It's like
John's Closet bot.
John's Closet.
Oh, dude!
Now we're getting somewhere.
That would
guys.
be so funny.
My
Tinder
God.
bot.
A Tinder bot that just leads to John's Closet.
You know, I actually pitched this idea to Lucid Lake, and they shut my idea down so hard.
Right.
They're like, we're not getting a band Tinder.
We were talking about getting a band
I think it's
Tinder.
a good idea. I've
Just
talked
like
to people
put
that say
shows-
it's nice.
Show,
It's a nice
show dates on it. And stuff.
addition for sure.
I mean, people look at it.
You know,
How does that work? Because I always see the little ads on Tinder.
I have
No,
no
not
idea.
like that.
No,
just like,
make like a
Just like a
personal
profile.
Oh.
And
Gotcha.
You know, have each of you with like roses in your mouth. You know, we'll have like Jeramy with a rose in his mouth, and the name is like Kimberly. You know,
Yeah.
And then just like you know, each of you will be like naked behind your instruments.
Obviously.
No, we're trying to get people to come to shows. So
that might get show that bod, dog.
the idea is just write the show date on a picture.
Listen,
Right.
guys,
I sound like
you wouldn't
like an old
be.
person. I don't know what I just said.
You guys wouldn't be the first band to have members that go naked on stage.
Yeah.
Like,
true.
especially in the area.
I guess.
I think I talked about this last week. There was.
My God.
There was there was a singer for the Holloway tape. That, you know, performed at a house party, got down to his underwear, in the middle of the house party. 50, 100 people were at the house, right in San Carlos, playing this like really loud ass like noise metal or noise rock sort of like.
I don't know what the fuck it was, man.
Yeah, like it was nuts.
It was
Yeah. Look, man.
What's so hard to understand about?
Look, man. That was that. Look, man. I'll never. I never like to bring any race into certain music genres or whatever. I was like, this is some white boy shit, dog. I can't fuck with this shit, dog. Like, I can't rock with this. And this is a Snapchat video on my Instagram, which is me, like, you can just clearly hear it. And I'm in another room, it's in the living room, and I'm just like, my God, kill me now.
That was a drinking noise if
That was
you're
a
not
drinking
watching. Not suckling on nipples.
Suckling the titty.
Big titty.
Say what you will about sucking on nipples.
Mm-hmm.
You did that shit since birth.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
or at least hopefully, if
Yeah.
you know, your mom wasn't awful.
Yeah. And I'll dare let another man suck on my mama's titties. No, okay. It's that Epidus Rex, dog.
Oh God.
Epidus complex, dog. Shout out to Epidus.
Oedipus.
Oedipus. Man, shut up.
Epidus is better.
Yeah. Yeah.
He had way better ideas.
Yeah. He has some solid ideas. You know, kill your father, have sex with your mother, and shit. That's what you gotta do.
Not bad.
Hey, man. Do we have another? Actually, no. I gotta. So wait, do you guys have a EP? I don't think you. Spotify.
You guys are recording.
You guys are recording.
Yeah.
You guys are recording.
Yeah,
an
we
EP.
do not have anything out yet. There's a
Right.
single that's going to be coming out very shortly. It's been, I don't know, it's processing. It takes a week or something for it to be out on everything, but it's sent. So that's going to be coming soon. And then there's the rest of that EP is going to come right after that. There's another 4 songs that we recorded with Caleb Neff. Was partially our prize for the Battle of the Bands that we won back in February, I want to say.
Oh, so you want a battle of the bands?
Yeah.
Damn.
And we won the recording time in that. So that single's coming out soon, and then the EP is it's like a live EP. We just wanted to get something out there so people can listen to it and tell us what they think and know the songs and stuff. And then we just recorded at Six Fingers Studios a couple weeks ago, and I'm pretty excited to hear what we get back from that. They're working on it now, so.
Oh damn! What's
Definitely stuff coming
What's the
along.
single called?
Catastrophe.
Catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. That's pretty dope. So the battle of the bands, who won second place? And we're just looking. He's like,
My
Personal
other
Kings.
band, Personal Kings.
opposite states. What?
No, Personal Kings.
Personal Kings.
That was a while ago. They died.
His metal.
So you got defeated,
slain
and then you join your enemy.
Freaking brothers.
So
No, I was in both bands
Oh, you're in both bands. Okay.
already.
Ah,
Jake got
okay,
first
gotcha.
and second at the Battle of the Bands.
Oh, hey,
Yeah.
good Jake, man, so talented.
yeah.
Damn.
No, but
Come on, Fort Myers, we need more drummers and bassists. Jake is just in first and second place.
Easy as fuck.
Easy as fuck. GG easy. That's funny.
who else played? There's the Spoon Dogs.
I don't know. I wasn't there. You were there?
Oh yeah, I was there. Yeah. Fathom was there. Actually,
Lazy Days?
Lazy Days was there.
Hellfrost?
I don't remember.
Fathom?
Lazy Days, Fathom, yes.
For sure. Broken Way.
Yes. and Perfect Sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, shout out to those bands too.
Yeah.
All right, let's do another fun question.
Another fun question.
Yeah, let's do another fun question. Feeling the heat in here. Woo!
Yeah.
Toasty.
Okay. So, let's see.
What you got, fam? What you got?
God. I have to sift through these. I want to avoid being too repetitive.
Alright.
Let's see. Alright. This one's a weird one. This one's coming a little out of left field. So,
the last one was about who gets to live and who gets to die.
That was pretty left field. This one must be fun. Did I make up this question?
No, I did.
Okay.
A long time ago. This was the first question that we came up with. You remember this question. This question spurred out of a conversation after seeing, I think it was a girl that was on OkCupid from Felda, Florida. And I had no idea where Felda was. Turns out it's like 40 minutes away. And if you look up Felda Shopping Mall.
Which way?
Huh?
Which way,
Like,
40 minutes?
To Central Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
Felda, ugh.
Yeah, no. Apparently if you look up Felda Shopping Mall,
Right.
it's a Shell station.
What?
It's a Shell gas station. If you look up
that's
Felda
hilarious.
Shopping
That's
Mall
Florida.
on Google Maps,
Yeah.
Shell gas station pops up.
Golly.
So we were like, so it was me and a friend of mine that were like, my God,
Yeah.
like who the fuck lives in Felda? Like, are these girls like, is this girl like, is this some kind of like hick sort of like parents or brother sister type of thing?
Toothless bitch and shit.
Like, goddamn. And then we were like, wait, holy
Just
shit.
heroin for brunch.
What if you met a girl that was like a perfect 10 out of 10?
Right. Perfect 10 out of 10.
Perfect 10 out of 10.
Yeah, hot.
Like, personality, looks, everything, right?
Right.
But,
But
and if you guys want to reframe this in the context of keeping your relationships in check, and
yeah,
if your girlfriend,
single Kimberlys.
you know, or
Shout out to the Kimberlys girlfriends and shit.
or what if you suddenly found out that your girlfriend's,
Yeah.
her parents were siblings?
Ooh.
Would that be a deal breaker?
So this 10 out of 10 girl, she doesn't have any like genetic disorders and shit. Perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But mom and dad are brothers and sisters. But it's not like one of those like, oh, they could or not be. Nah, these niggas look like they really are brothers and sisters.
Is she close to them?
Well, yeah. Yeah. She's cool with it. I mean, like, what can she do? I mean,
Like, I would have to see them.
like, yeah. And they're cool at Thanksgiving. They like invite you over. Whatever. They like, you know.
They're like
really
super nice.
Super
they're
nice.
like,
They're cool.
oh, Jake, it's so wonderful to see you. You know?
Yeah. They're like, yo, we believe in soulmates, and it just happened to be in the family. How you feeling? 10 out of 10, cool girl, parents are fine. They're just brothers and sisters.
If we could not ever go back to FESDA?
Oh, yeah. Never go back there.
They should rename it to Bethesda. That's a lot better.
Never go back to
It's
Bethesda.
right, it can't be like...
Yeah, if we never had to see your family ever. And also, I'm not trying to have kids. So
Holidays.
which holidays?
Like Thanksgiving.
We're not doing Thanksgiving.
No Christmas.
Flag Day? I'll go over for a Flag Day.
Flag Day. Like Groundhog Day. One of the bee holidays.
Something where I don't have to
Every other
bring your
Labor
seed.
Day.
Every other Labor Day.
Pretty quick.
None of the major holidays.
Mhm.
Definitely spending time with your own family.
For sure.
And then your family brings it up. It's like, so we never get to meet your girlfriend's parents.
I tell them.
You tell them, your mom.
And we don't go there. It's a bad place.
Oh my god.
Oedipus sneaks his way into this podcast.
Yeah. Shout out to Shakespeare.
Shout out to Epidus.
No, not Shakespeare.
Wasn't it Shakespeare who wrote?
No, it was a Greek play.
He
Oh,
wrote
great. Oh, my
I
bad.
know this too. And
Yeah, who wrote it?
It's like Michael Felton.
Are you sure it wasn't Shakespeare?
Yeah, it was.
Who wrote that shit?
No,
I thought it was.
It's much longer than
Greek
Shakespeare.
Yeah, we could Google it. We're why think
We
about it?
have
just Google.
technology.
We have technology.
Oh boy.
Who wrote?
What quote are we looking for?
Who wrote Oedipus Rex?
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, they also made sequels.
Also made sequels. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, apparently the kids that Oedipus had with his mother
you're
had separate stories.
Person.
Yeah.
It was written by Sophocles.
Sophocles. Let's just say Shakespeare.
I was.
Revisionist history.
Shakespeare.
It's alternative facts, dog. All about alternative facts on John's Classic.
Oh boy.
Hey man, look, we gotta get the conservative group, the alt-right motherfuckers on this podcast, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get everybody. Sponsored by the alt-right. That'd be crazy.
Oh god.
That'd be terrible.
Hey, now make your money.
Gotta make all about that green, dog.
They're putting chemicals.
Putting chemicals
In the frogs, I
In the
heard,
frogs.
and it's making people gay.
making people gay.
Also the frogs.
Yeah.
Frogs are gay now.
They're taking Hillary
Yeah.
and her green spineless scaly skin, and they're making her run for Senate positions
Yeah.
so that she can turn you and everyone else gay. It's the gay agenda.
That's a pretty good Alex Jones.
Yeah, and on Pride Month too.
scared.
We got an alt-right Alex Jones.
Not bad.
Anti-gay
If I
segment.
shaved, I think I would pull on.
Ooh.
You know, let's just start a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
Called Jones's Corner.
Yeah.
And I'll just do my Alex Jones impersonation and just.
Wait, can you clickbait yourself on your own platform? Like you just like put out like little edited like just to go viral, just to make yourself look bad? Because normally it happens the other way, where people like put out out of context quotes.
No, people do that shit all the time.
On themselves.
Yeah, no, like, well, it depends on how bad it is, but
Okay.
like, you know, like.
We should be supported by the alt-right.
No.
It's definitely.
I mean, all
Oh, by the way, I'm
publicity
black,
is
by the
publicity.
way.
No, but they'll be like, oh, we finally got a Negro on our side.
Yeah, finally. First Kanye, now this one. Hallelujah. No, I always say that, dude, conservative money, dude, it's pretty loyal to those old style of programs like TV. Like Roseanne was a very conservative,
God.
killed in the ratings. If you look at any radio, like the top most rated or most viewed or whatever, I was looking at this the other day, like 90% of them are conservative talk radio.
Mm-hmm. It
So-
depends on where you are in the country and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
But here, it is for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, dog, we might
Live it up.
spin, yeah. Fuck this liberal shit. Ugh. Everybody getting along.
No money in that.
Yeah, no money in that,
Being
nigga.
nice to people.
Fuck that shit.
Maybe emotional, maybe
Yeah.
great, but
Hey, man, look, here's the thing. I can be black, conservative, and I can say nigga, too. Because I'm sure conservative people would love to say.
Possibilities. are
Perfect
endless.
blend.
Mm.
Yeah, shout out to my conservatives out there, man. We love you guys. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man, I'm feeling this sweat coming down. Oh, my God. Whew. Oh, yeah. Before we leave, are you down with the incest?
back to that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We went on such a huge tangent.
So I'm very much in
Yeah.
keen with The Office, and I would have to be right on board with Dwight Schrute on a thing like this, and
Yeah.
it couldn't mess with my bloodline or anything. You know what I mean?
No,
I would
here's
have
the
to think
question.
like Dwight Schrute and be like, I need like, you know, this perfect woman for a perfect child. Obviously, I'm fucking around, but you know, yeah, incest in the parents, yeah, that
Deal breaker.
wouldn't fly with me.
Deal breaker.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm sorry.
liberals supposed to be open-minded.
I'm sorry.
Anyways, yo,
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's
it's a 1-to-1.
it's a tough situation.
As long as we don't see our parents.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
you know,
well, you gotta see
if I
him
put
once,
it in the
yeah.
context of my own life, and I'm like, you know,
Yeah.
this was a situation with my girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
I love my girlfriend. I don't think I would leave her over some shit she can't control. But
Yeah.
that would be a weird situation. And I would,
Yeah.
you know, it's uncomfortable.
Okay, what if it's not your girlfriend?
I mean, what do you mean? That's the
Like,
question.
it's just a girl.
like,
I know, but what if this is an alternate universe where...
I just mean, like, if I, you know, like, I build a relationship with somebody
If
based
you
on
just
them.
met her.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be freaked out.
Just
And I would
met.
be like, you
What
know,
if it was an
counting her
ex? Wouldn't you
fingers
feel
and stuff.
so much
like,
better
you
about
like, sure. Like,
I'm not sure if you have 10 toes or 9.5 toes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that out.
You see
right
small
now.
signs.
Were the grandparents
But
also in
Yeah.
everybody's, you know,
Yeah.
path is
Yeah, what's the...
individual, weird. You know,
Yeah.
weird. The world's a weird place.
Like you actually ask your girlfriend, is like, have you heard of awkward interaction of meeting your like meeting like your dad's side of the family versus your mom's side of the family? She's like, what do you mean? Like, what? I was
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Oh my gosh, I love this question. Good job on you, John.
Yeah, one out the big guns.
You're welcome.
Wow. All right, before we die, heat exhaustion and global warming and shit like that, man. Woo!
Woo!
Well, this has been a great episode of John's Class. We had the lovely Kimberlys on here and shit.
Yes.
Good vibes, good
Thank you guys very
energy.
much.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes. Get some nice AC, man. This is episode 8. Did we say our names?
No.
Well, this has been this is always better. We never say our names at the beginning. We just go right into it.
Fair enough.
You know,
Watch
watch episode 1.
Yeah. Get our names right.
No,
Motherfucker.
I'm not going to introduce myself. My name's in the title. You
Yeah,
can read, I
yeah,
hope, if you're not
yeah.
blind. I hope.
Follow us on all the social medias. Go to our YouTubes, John's Closet, Instagram, John's_Closet.
John's_closet_. No apostrophe
Underscore, yeah.
for the Instagram page.
Yeah, for the Instagram, and then on Facebook, just John's Closet. Where can we find the Kimberlys?
at Facebook and
Mhm.
Instagram at the Kimberlys, KIMBERLYS. That's the Kimberlys, yeah.
And soon on iTunes and Spotify and
iTunes,
Google Play. And
Yeah.
YouTube.
Check out
Yeah,
the single.
YouTube, we have
Be
YouTube
trying to
page.
go everywhere, so
We have a Friendster account.
Mhm.
Yeah.
MySpace.
We'll try to
MySpace,
post the big ones in the description.
Got
Cool.
AOL. AOL.
we'll rejuvenate
No.
Napster.
No,
Yeah.
Hotmail.
Hotmail. Yeah. All right. Well, this has been episode number 8. Peace out, fam.
Peace out, everybody.
Go on,
Peace.
I hope you all live wonderful and happy lives. Nah.
Ooh. Let's get some of the AC. Fuck.
Oh boy. Okay.
Also get some water. Fuck.
Woo!
I have to get out of this closet first.
Yeah. Oh no. It's the last obstacle.
There we go. There you are.
In this closet.
Woo!
Oh, that was
Throw it across the room? Is that what
We made it an hour and a half with you guys.
Hmm?
An hour and a half.
Nice.
Just about. Oh man.
Oh, damn. I'm
Oh,
so sorry.
man.
Thank God it was an empty cup. I'm so glad that was empty.
There we go.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a little bit, but it's alright. It's like foam. We'll pull that out.
That's okay. I'll blame Sydney for it. But yeah. Here you go, Jeremy, if that's just more comfortable for you. Go ahead.
He likes the tone of his voice. Much more mid-range. Much more mid.
Got some water.
Oh, true.
That was fun. I haven't done a podcast yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was very entertaining.
So, be sure to put us on blast on your social media pages, and you know,
We'll try to get some.
we'll try to do what we can because we're still growing.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, low key, guys. This is me doing my own share of whoring. So if you notice here, I have Ableton.
Alright.
So if you guys ever wanted to work on any sort of like independent projects,